Hey guys, Dell 304 here, and I think it is time to record the Dell Latitude E6420 review. I was originally going to wait for this, but until I got the new parts for it, but I decided not to buy the new parts at all. I just, like, this laptop's in pretty darn good condition for, how old it is, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the review now, since it's been, I don't know, few weeks, maybe a month now, so I don't remember off the top of my head when I got this laptop, but this is my main daily driver, and it probably will be for another couple of years. I know I say that every time, but I'm serious this time. This laptop has some pretty awesome specs, great build quality and all of that. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and get into the review. So, the E6420 is a redesign of the previous E6410 and E6400. It was completely retooled, unlike the transition from the E6400 to the E6410, and it definitely fixed a few key problems with the E6400. Now, I used to have an E6400. I would have been able to show you like a comparison between them, but I sold the E6400 shortly after I bought this, so can't do that. But I will let you know as we go the improvements they've made across the line. So, let's go from like the apparent stuff. So as most of you would know, the E6400 and the E6410 were squared off black and gray designs. So this is completely retooled. Instead of having a a black squared off design, Dell chose to go with these semi-rounded corners, as you can see, and a gunmetal gray and very like light gray metal design. Dell calls this a tri-metal design, so it consists of aluminum, steel, and magnesium that composes the housing of the computer. Obviously, this being the aluminum, this being the steel, and then the hinges, the hinges are steel, and then the rest of the body of the computer is magnesium. So it's a very well built computer, and it just feels very, very solid. So I think the first thing I want to do is go ahead and take a tour of the laptop. Obviously, this is a 14-inch laptop, so it's not too big. Although this isn't a small 14-inch laptop. This is among the heavier 14-inch notebooks. But anyway, I don't really care about that, but some people might. Just as a heads up, this laptop weighs over 4 pounds, I believe, so it's not exactly a super travel light computer. But anyway, as you can see, gunmetal gray design. This kind of has a brushed aluminum look to it, as you can kind of see in the camera there. And then we have this little plastic strip up here for the, the wireless antenna to seep through. I don't know, seep's not the right word, but anyway, yeah. You can see that along the back here, again, Dell chose this cornered design. I didn't like that at first, but now I actually do like it. I think it gives it a little design flair that it didn't have before. Okay, so let's go ahead and go around the laptop. So right here, as you can see, we have the latch. It's pretty sturdy. I've seen some pretty crappy laptop hinges or laptop latches, so this one keeps the display nice and closed. There's no wobble at all. It's a good latch. I'm not a huge fan of those magnetic ones or laptops with no latches. I prefer the latch just because it keeps it closed more securely. So yeah, that's that. And then we have an SD card reader right there with a dummy card in it. So, that's pretty straightforward. Also, along the front, we have two front-firing speakers, one being here and one being there. I did have a speaker test of this laptop, so if you want to see that, go ahead and click on this finger right now. So I made a whole video on that. I recorded it with my Canon PowerShot. It has dual microphones, so it will reflect pretty well this sound quality, this computer, which is pretty darn good. So, moving on, we have an express card, no, that's a smart card slot, excuse me, a smart card reader. Hard drive caddy is right here. Cooling vent right here for the CPU and graphics, headphone port, VGA port, a USB port. Going along the back, there are very few ports back here because the battery is mostly back here, but nonetheless we have an Ethernet port, the charging port. You can configure a modem for this, but this one does not have it. And also we have a full-sized HDMI and a Kensington lock. Going around the right side, we have a USB eSATA combo, 2 more USBs. Okay, so this one is a powered USB port, so it will provide more current than the other ones. Actually, both of these are powered USB ports, so these will provide more current than other USB ports, so you can use higher power devices, you can charge your iPod and things like that. A Wi-Fi switch is located here, so you can turn that on and off. I have never seen anyone use this, so I don't know why it's there. But nonetheless, moving on, we have a DVD burner right there, and a PCM-CIA PC card slot. I'm missing the dummy for that, sadly, but oh well. Also, on the top right here, we have 2 indicators for power and battery. So that is that. So that is just about all that composes the inside of this laptop. Excuse me for the background noise. I have my window open just because it's really hot here in California right now. So yeah, just excuse me for that in the meantime, or in advance anyway. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this laptop up, and we will take a interior tour. Let's go ahead and open it up here. So there you go. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take the camera off the tripod for this part, and I'm going to pan around. So here we have the 14-inch matte 1600 by 900 display there. My camera does not like something that's going on there. That was weird. But anyway, yeah, there it is. Up here we have a webcam. I'm not sure if it's... Oh yeah, okay, never mind. It's a 2 megapixel webcam, and then with dual microphones, one there and one there. So... okay, sorry about that. Here we have the Dell logo on the display bezel. Okay, while I'm at it, I want to talk about the two improvements that were made on this design. With the E6400, the LCD bezel would, one, come off because it was a cheap piece of crap that was held on by plastic clips, and B, it would scratch the palm rest because there was no rubber guard or anything around the display. There was no rubber bumpers, none of that. Well, Dell decided to change the design of the LCD bezel, so now the exterior around here is metal, and the LCD bezel is just this inside piece. And this is not quite as flimsy as the E6400 bezel, so that's good. I've taken this off and not breaking it. So, but also, they added this, whatchamacallit, rubber ring around the entire display, all the way around. So, that is going to mitigate the problem with the palm rest getting scratched. Going down to the bottom of the laptop, we have our backlit keyboard here. This is an optional option, obviously, but I have the backlit keyboard right there. I recently bought that, actually. The power button, indicator lights for hard drive, battery charge, and Wi-Fi. The touchpad here, which is fairly large, they improved. That's another improvement they did over the E6400 and such. They enlarged the touchpad, so it's now a lot more spacious, and it's just better overall. And while I'm at it, let's go ahead and take a look at the, right away. By the way, we have volume buttons right here, up, down, and mute. So there you go. So Dell decided to change the palm rest a little bit up, because on the E6400s they would wear really fast and become really shiny. Well, Dell decided to go with a rubberized palm rest, so that is just, I honestly really like that. It makes the laptop feel very well built. Doesn't feel like the plastic parts of this laptop are cheap in any way. I mean, this is rubber, so it gives your palms a good grip also when you're typing on the laptop, so that's really cool. I definitely am a fan of that palm rest. And they also added, well, they also have this orange trim around the keyboard. A lot of people don't understand that because there's no orange on any other part of the computer, but it's all personal preference. My personal favorite color is orange, so I obviously don't mind that one bit. But yeah, that's that. So that's a complete tour of the laptop. There's not much else left to do to boot her up, but before I do that, I want to go ahead and take a rundown of the specs. So this baby has an Intel Core i5-2540M. CPU. It has a base clock of 2.6 gigahertz, and it will turbo itself all the way up to 3.1 gigahertz, if I'm not mistaken. It's either 3.1 or 3.2, I can't exactly remember. Mine has 8 gigabytes of DDR3 PC3 10600 RAM at 1333 megahertz, and mine also has a 128 gigabyte Corsair, no, not a Corsair, Samsung 840 Pro SSD. Sorry, I was thinking of my custom build back here, so sorry about that. 840 Pro, really good SSD, one of the best you can buy, and this laptop is extremely fast with it. And mine also has the Intel HD 3000 integrated graphics. It would have been nicer with the NVIDIA Quadro, but hey, with the Intel graphics it runs cooler, and you know, you get better battery life. I don't do a lot of gaming on this thing, just a little Minecraft and Halo every now and then. So you can see this boot up. It's fairly fast. It boots up in about 30 seconds, I'd like to say. So yeah, as you can see, that's extremely quick. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on the screen now. So there you go. It's all booted up, ready to go. I'm not sure what this is. That's some sort of Dell application, I'm probably sure, so I'll close that. But as you can see, here is the 1600 by 900 LCD screen here, and this thing is just, it's beautiful. I've never had a screen with this high resolution. My desktop display, which is right back there, is a 20-inch, and it has the exact same resolution. But I mean, you can go up to this screen, and things are just so clear, and just, it's really nice. It's an extraordinary screen. It would help if it was IPS, but I don't know if that was an option. But yeah, this was the best screen you could configure with this laptop back in the day. So let's go ahead and take a look. I wish I had performance test 8 scores. I'm not really sure where those are. I think I might have kept them, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think it got, oh, there it is. So here's a result of performance test 8.0 on this laptop. As you can see, it got an 1837 with the specs I mentioned before. So there's performance test for anyone wondering. That is a very respectable score for a laptop like this. And then of course you can see here are the read times for that SSD. So that's not really so much the computer, that's the SSD. But there you go. SATA 3, not bottlenecked at all. That's just very, very quick. So what do you say we go ahead and launch a couple programs? I'm just going to launch Word and see how fast it is. Bam, there it is, right there. Oh, I don't think I've opened it before. That's weird. Let's go ahead and open Google Chrome. Bam, right there. So, I mean, it's really, really fast. Thanks to, in part, by the CPU and the SSD and all of that other stuff. So, to conclude, I'm not going to go ahead and show so much of the software side because that's all pretty subjective, and yeah. The bottom of the computer, by the way, has a bottom panel that can be completely removed for complete access to all of the internal components. This computer is extremely straightforward and easy to work on, so that is definitely a plus. The build quality is excellent. They improved many things over the E6400 that were problems on that laptop, and I know because I owned that laptop for a year and a half. And yeah, I absolutely love this computer. So I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope it gave people who don't know much about this computer an overview of what it is. These things are running probably around the 400 mark on eBay right now, obviously with not as good specs as mine, but yeah, anyway, there you go. So that is the Dell Latitude E6420 review. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment below. I'll be happy to answer those, you know, no matter what it is. Don't hesitate to ask. So, yeah, later.